Welcome back to the Patient Magnet Podcast. My name is Jared Rohr, and I am your host. I'm the CEO and founder of Aesthetic Conversion, a web and SEO agency designed to get you more eyeballs on your business and to give you a higher conversion rate of those eyeballs turning into leads for you. And today we're going to be talking about SEO. We get to talk about my bread and butter. None of these other topics that I get to learn about from others, but something that I can hopefully, after this podcast, impart some knowledge on you as to why SEO is important, why if you don't have any SEO for your website, why maybe you should start doing something, or maybe consider hiring an agency like us to take it off your plate for you so that you can just worry about treating patients. Because I always say that when you are a business owner, there's 3 classes that you need to get an A+ in. You got to get an A+ in marketing, you got to get an A+ in sales, and you need to get an A+ in service delivery. And it's very often that business owners step into this space and they know all about service delivery. They're very well trained. They've went to amazing schools. They went to amazing training programs for injectables. But then they step in and they realize, oh, I have no training as a business owner just yet. So the marketing and sales side can feel daunting. So it's often much easier for a clinic just to pass that off and hand it to an agency who can handle it for them, and then you just focus on patient results and happiness. So let's talk first about what SEO is. SEO is search engine optimization. It is your clinic's ability to navigate up the ranks of a search engine, whether that is Google or Bing. We're going to talk about Google today because Google is king. Bing is rising, and it's something that's definitely worth keeping your eyes on. But for the most part, you're going to rank in Bing the same way that you rank in Google. Your metadata that is sent out on your site is going to be very similar. There's some small hacks that could change between platforms, but in my opinion, right now, the percentage of usage that we're seeing across the whole space from our clients is not worth investing too much into Bing just yet. But maybe at some point, and maybe there will be some other Google competitor or search engine competitor that you need to worry about. But for now, we're just going to talk about Google. Okay, so search engine optimization, SEO, is your clinic's ability to rank on the first page or even to show up in Google. Oftentimes, we will take over a website and the person doesn't even show up because Google hasn't indexed them. And indexing is where Google will put you into that magical list where they sort you by most relevant. So why would your business need SEO? Let's talk about that. So there's a clinic that we worked with, and I would never promise this result to anybody, but this was a pretty stellar result that is worth noting in case it inspires you to say, oh, you know what, maybe I should try out this marketing channel. So this clinic, they wanted us to get them to rank in their local area for cool sculpting. And at the moment, they were at like the 91st slot for local search. And so what we did is we redid their site. We rebuilt it because it was not built properly. And with some proper optimization, within about 3 weeks of relaunch, they went from rank 91 to rank number 3 in their area. And they had a 40% increase in targeted traffic. And they saw a lot of strong lead production. And now they have a pretty great cool sculpting program internally because of that. And do we ever promise those results to anybody? No, absolutely not. We tell clinics in general that we can get people onto the first page of Google within 90 days. And sometimes if it's a super competitive area, like you're in New York City or you're in Los Angeles, then maybe it's going to be a little more competitive. But there's still other ways for us to get around that by going specifically to an area, to a street, to a plaza that you're listed in, something that can allow us to circumvent some more established businesses. We like to have a stronger strategy around that. So there are 3 things that you guys can do for yourselves today for SEO that's going to help you rank. So if you manage your SEO yourself, you manage your website yourself, this is going to be something that you can do today for yourself that will get you ranking better. I can't guarantee you're going to get ranking on the first page within 90 days, but I can guarantee that this is going to be a net positive result for you if you have your internal marketing team work on this. So number 1 is going to be your website. If you can upgrade your metadata internally on your website. So first and foremost, your metadata is whenever you search something, let's say, med spa in Orlando, which is where I am. Whenever you search something on Google, you're going to see a little blue link pop up and a paragraph underneath and a business name attached to it. And that blue link and that paragraph are what are called your metadata. So the meta title is the blue link, and the meta paragraph or meta description is the paragraph beneath it. And you want to ensure, so the very first thing that you can do is upgrade that metadata. So a lot of times we will inherit a clinic that oftentimes doesn't even have metadata. It's just nothing. And their host that they've got or their previous web designer will just push the name of their business. So, somebody will search your business name, and let's say it's aesthetic conversion med spa, or aesthetic conversion. That'll be the only thing that shows up when they're searched, aesthetic conversion. No keywords, no nothing. So a simple little hack that you can do right now is upgrade your metadata by beefing it up with some keywords. So if you're a clinic and you want to rank for Botox and filler, you can say ABC Med Spa in Orlando, Florida, Botox, filler, and more, or something like that in your meta title. And then in your description, just write something rich, at ABC Med Spa in Orlando, Florida, we focus on delivering the most optimal results using amazing aesthetic techniques with Botox and filler and the latest whatever, blah, blah, technology and blah, 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 whatever it is you want to rank for. You can throw this into ChatGPT. And I will make a note right now, as of 2025, Google is not against AI content on your website. The biggest metric that they use to gauge whether or not your content should be on the site is value, not source. So you can use AI to help generate this content, and it's going to know how to navigate it better. Now, is that to say that in 2026, Google might crack down? Maybe, and maybe other search engines will crack down on AI content, or maybe they'll be just encouraging people to write their own content. But for now, they are not. So I would encourage you to use good AI content for now. You don't want to make it spammy. So the only metric that Google's using is it valuable? Are you writing things that people care about? You don't want to just put Botox in Orlando 9,000 times on one page because ChatGPT could produce it for you. You want to produce something that is valuable. Okay. So number one is upgrade your metadata. Number two is going to be update your site copy. So make sure that the site, I don't want to get too heavy into your H1 tags and other maybe more technical SEO, the alt text that is attached to your images. I don't want to get too heavy into that because at that point you're starting to become a web developer and you're not a business owner anymore. Like at that point you should hire an agency. The moment that you start having to do that job, it's like you're wasting your time, because what you should be focused on, your job as the CEO or the owner of a business, your job is momentum in the business. So anything that you do, any activity that you participate in as a business owner should be focused on growth for your business. So if you are finding yourself writing copy for your website, can you maybe make some weird argument that yes, this is going to grow my business? I guess. But you're wasting your time. You shouldn't be doing it. You should be asking someone to do it. It's just like eventually you should be delegating all of those tasks so that you are the brain that's driving the system. So the next one is upgrading your site copy. Sorry, that's my little soapbox. The next one is upgrading your site copy. You do not, it doesn't have to, I wouldn't put, I wouldn't put Med Spa in Orlando over and over and over and over and over again in all of the titles on your website. I would make it something that feels organic and feels engaging, but I would pepper in little phrases here and there into your paragraphs and into your headlines so that people know what you do and how you do it, and they know and that Google knows how to rank you. So if in the top of your website you have some sort of a title tag or a headline that says the best Botox and filler injectors in Orlando, something like that. You don't have to put that, but something like that is going to catch Google's attention, and they're going to say, "Oh, okay, great. This site seems reputable. These guys are the best. According to them, they're the best Botox and fillers injectors." So having SEO rich content on the site is important. You don't want to do it so much that it's spammy and it's like every single phrase is like, if you're looking for Botox near me, then this is the place to be. It's like, no, stop, relax. It's okay. Google's smarter than that. You don't have to put these like hyper SEO rich phrases, but just peppering little things in there, knowing that Google's going to rank it is important. Another little hack that you can use is just beef up your FAQs on your service pages, beef them up. And in your FAQ sections that barely anyone goes to in the first place, put a bunch more content in there, and feel free to be a little more liberal with the way that you are making that content SEO rich. Additionally, a fun little hack for finding what you should be putting for FAQs is just Googling those services, and then you can see all of those questions pop up in Google. So you can see the most searched questions in your area for that service. So all you have to do is, if you live in Orlando, search Botox in Orlando, and then underneath, you're going to get a whole bunch of, other people. Most common searches are, how much does Botox cost in Orlando? How does Botox hurt in Orlando? There's going to be a ton of options for you. Just copy and paste those. Those are the most searched terms. Google is telling you this is what people want to know. So you should just take advantage of that and throw that into your FAQ sections. We do that for our client websites. Okay. Now, the other thing you can do is write regular blog articles. You can do. I have a little ChatGPT prompt that I give out to clinics at conferences. You're welcome to take it. That if you're going to write your own content, I have a prompt that you can steal, and it's gonna help you and your team to write stronger articles when you're posting them on your website. So that's going to help you rank as well. So it's just adding more content to the site rather than being a 4, 5, 6 page site. Becoming a 50, 60, 70 page site is huge for indexing. Okay. The next little trick I want to just lightly touch on is backlinks. I would encourage you to explore this a little bit more yourself, but backlinks is basically where any website on the internet points to you as an expert in a field. So if you can work with your local referral partners, with the salons, with the Pilates studios, with the real estate agents, where these businesses are writing regular content for their websites, you could do partner blogs with them where you write content on yours that does poke to them, that does point towards them, and that they write content on theirs that does point to you. So that's a nice little way to do it. Or you can get featured on websites through Haro. So if you go to helpareporterout.com, I believe it's called Connectively now. They got acquired recently, but you can get featured by journalists on websites like Elle and InShape and Yahoo for your expertise, and they will link to your website. Also, podcasting is a huge backlink hack. If you can just get on podcasts, they will. If you search Jared Rohr right now, the primary way that I am found is because of For the Records podcasts of me. So you can see me all over the place with Tiffany Hall, because it is a huge SEO opportunity for backlinking. Okay. Last one is Google My Business for SEO. Google My Business is going to help you rank a ton. So for your reviews, I want you to get to triple digits. So I want you to push really, really hard. Commit for the next 6 months. If you have 10 reviews right now and you're like, oh, nobody gives them to us, don't take no for an answer. Just push, push for people to give you reviews. And if no one will give you reviews, consider that maybe people are struggling with your service. Okay. So if you're not getting reviews and you know that you're doing a good job, then let's update our strategy on encouraging those reviews. And when people leave you a 5-star review, they want to help your business. Okay. So you can encourage them and say, by the way, if you mention our city and you mention the procedure you got, it's going to help me out a ton. So if Mary says, oh my gosh, I was looking for an amazing place to get Botox in Orlando, and I found Jared in his clinic and I love it. If they mention the location and the service, it's gold for Google. So encourage those 5-star reviewers to put down the location and procedure that they received as well, and push really hard to get to triple digits. When you can get to 100 reviews, something in Google Maps engine just turns over, and you will start getting major traction. So those are my tips for SEO. As an SEO agency, you can steal all of that. I mean, the purpose of our company is for people who don't have time to do all that stuff. The people who are like, I don't have, I'm building my business. I don't have time to do my SEO and to run my website. That's where we come into play. That's where we become a great partner for you that can be a strategic marketing analytics partner and marketing performer for you, so that you can continue focusing on what you do best. Now, if you're just getting started, or maybe you're giant and you've got a marketing team, use some of these tips to get yourselves ranking further, and if you're looking for a clinic, for an agency to run your marketing or to run your SEO and your website, reach out to us. Send me an email, jared@aestheticconversion.com. If you want that SEO prompt that I give out at conferences, just let me know as well, that ChatGPT prompt. Send me an email, jared@aestheticconversion.com, and I'll get right back to you. And thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you guys. This has been so fun seeing the community and the culture that's already starting within the patient magnet. So very, very grateful to you for listening. And as always, if you have any thoughts that you want to share, please pop them down into the comments. And it really helps a lot with the algorithm, really helps us to know our numbers as well. If you follow and if you subscribe to the podcast. And in Spotify now, you can leave little comments underneath. So feel free to pop in and join the discussion. So thank you so much. We'll see you soon.